You were talking to him over.
All right, we're going to try it again. We look to have had some technical difficulties, but hopefully we're going to be good. Let's try this again. All right,
I'm
we
back.
got you back, man.
I'm back, man.
Listen, we're breaking the internet, I guess. I don't know what's
I can
going
tell, man.
on. But no, real quick, I'll be brief. What makes you what makes you so motivated to kind of speak for those who may not have a voice, or just be vocal about some of the things that are happening, and just even that challenge to leadership?
You know, I consider myself one of the luckiest people on the planet, man. And it's just so, I've got a platform. People know me. And so if I could help in any way, I mean, why not me? Right? I mean, everybody's got a chance to help in their own way, and that's a good thing. But because my platform's so much bigger and different than most, it just gave me a chance to just speak for people who can't speak for themselves. And it's just something that the time was right. There was just nobody really stepping up and saying what needed to be said, in my opinion. So why not me?
Right. No, great point. So you've dealt with some setbacks before. You've dealt with some issues that weren't planned or just unexpected. In your history of kind of overcoming that, what can you recommend for maybe even a high schooler or an entrepreneur or just someone in their family to kind of move forward through this moment?
You just got to grind, man. You got to start where you can. As we go through all this, I think side hustles are going to go through the roof.
Yeah.
Because people are just going to do what they can, sell what they can, do service however they can to help people out. And that's how things are going to start, because we don't know what things are going to look like on the other side, right? We really, really don't. And there's going to be somebody out there that goes and plays ball at the Mark Cuban Center that just goes, takes classes, whatever it may be, and has an idea, and then they start, just working on it small. And then all of a sudden other people realize this is a good idea, right? Why can't I be part, why can't I make it bigger? And I think that's what's going to change. I think, as people try to fight through this, and when we get to the other side, it looks different. It could be somebody 12 years old, 16 years old, or 60 years old that comes up with a great vision of how things are going to be and turns that into something special.
Yeah, very good point. I just heard you say something that was very important as well. Is just access to information and utilizing the resources, and just even utilizing the resources of right now with Center Court and just having some useful information. But talk to me real quick about taking this time to learn something, or just to kind of maybe gain a new perspective on something else.
Sure.
When we finish.
No matter what job you apply to, no matter what school you're going to go to, there's going to be somebody who's going to ask you the question, what'd you do during the pandemic of 2020, right? What did you do to improve yourself, to make yourself better, to make yourself smarter? And you got to have an answer, right? I mean, it can't just be, well, my 2K game's better, or I picked, I got a kill in Fortnite. You've got to really, if you're serious about it, what can you do to step up? And look, we're stuck at home. Right? It's not like, you don't have the time or can't find the time. Now's the time.
Well, and that's the important thing. Just talk about how important being intentional and doing those small things right now to yield something, 6 months from now, you could actually benefit from. What's been the marker in your history, just in you making decisions?
Just grinding. What can I do? Yeah, man. I get fired from a job. It's not like, okay, let me just, figure out what I'm going to do and take all the time. I had to pay the bills. And so, whether it's working at night as a bartender or a bar back, or, that's not as an option right now. I mean, I was selling stuff door to door, so, if I was a 16-year-old kid today, the minute those doors open, I'd have whatever I had. If it was my shoes, if it was my laces, if it was whatever I had around, books, I'd be selling door to door and then taking that and trying to apply it to something else, or I'd be hustling. Like me being a tech guy, I find people had Amazon Alexa or Google Home and show them how to set it up to, connect stuff up. I'd find ways that I can do things that other people don't know how to do that I can get paid for. And so that, that would be my side hustle. And hopefully I'd be able to grind enough to build it into something big.
It's rather interesting to hear you speak about having a side hustle, and in the midst
my
of
whole life's been a hustle.
all my life, you having that mentality, that mindset. What is it? What is it about you that has that progressive type of mindset to kind of see down the street and around the corner?
I just learn. I mean, I'm a learner, man. I think one of the greatest skills you can have is learning how to learn, loving to learn, because most people don't. You know, most people just go through their day and just get through, come home, relax, you know, chill, then go back to work again, and then just repeat it over and over. My whole thing was always like, well, most people just show up. And so if I can put in the time, I used to walk around bookstores, right? I couldn't afford to buy the books, but I would walk around the bookstore and just sit there and read things that were interesting. Or I'd pick up magazines and not buy them, looking just for one idea, because I figured if I just got one idea from a book, one idea from a magazine, that could be the difference between making me successful or not. And so that's just been my mentality overall, that if I hustle, I'll have an edge. And then once I learned how to sell, you know, like when I was first getting started, like my dad, I wanted a pair of basketball shoes, and my dad was like, those shoes on your feet, they look good, right? And one of his buddies had these old boxes of garbage bags, and they're like, if you want to get some shoes, right, why don't you sell all these boxes of garbage bags that I have? And I literally would go door to door. Hey, do you use garbage bags? My name is Mark. I live down the street, and if you use garbage bags for $6 a box, I'll come and drop them off. And that's what I did, you know?
Yeah.
And so, you know, I would just find a way, and there's always a way. It's just like, you know, and I'm not saying everybody had the same opportunities I did, but everybody's got the same opportunity to learn and to hustle if they can just find a little bit of time.
Right. That's absolutely true. And even with that, just doing the small things that you can control right now. Maybe it's not going door to door. Maybe it's sending direct messages. Maybe it's
exactly right. Yeah, whatever the, you know, doing it now, whether it's emails, DMs, whatever it may be, connecting with somebody, you just don't know. And that's, you know, once the center gets back open, that's why we did it, right? Because we want people to have access to information. We want people to learn. We want to give people, you know, a little bit more, you know, if they just need a little bit of help just to get to that step, then we can help them walk up the stairs. But now while you're home and your stuff, man, you know, if you've got access to online, if you got access to any book, man, just one book might make all the difference in your life.
Absolutely, man. Listen, the Mark Cuban Heroes Basketball Center is definitely about helping those athletes or those interested in sports. But the center court conversation is just as much about sports as it is about our personal life in the game of life. What are you seeing that we can do just to make sure our families are taken care of? Because that's another important part. We can take care of ourselves, we can develop ourselves and learn something, but what are you doing even with yourself to kind of refocus back to the family?
I mean, spending more time where we can, you know, Cuban forced family fun, you know, getting some exercises, taking walks, sitting down at dinner. You know, this makes everybody reevaluate everything. You know, we went from living our lives for better or worse to, oh my goodness, what just happened? You know, and you know what, I'll say this. I think it started with Kobe. When Kobe tragically died, I think a lot of people looked around and said, life is so precious, right? We were hugging people we didn't know. We were telling people we barely knew that we loved them, right? And calling people that were just friends or brothers. And I think that set the stage. And now with this, you know, I think people are taking that one step further, and we're connecting more with our friends because we're learning how to Zoom, right? We're learning how to Skype. We're learning how to go on IG, you know, and doing all these ways of connecting without leaving the house, you know, and just, you know, I'm Zooming with my high school buddies, some other buddies I have, you know, people I haven't talked to in forever. And so it's the same with your family. Take this time, recognize how precious life is, and, you know, find a way. Now, that don't mean your teenage kids are going to think you're all that anymore.
You're right.
That ain't going to change, right?
Right. But
at the same time, if I can get like one little hit with them a week, you know, that's a step in the right direction.
Yeah, man, definitely. Now, when we talk about the Heroes Center and definitely working with Charlie, it was founded in a time and in a moment that was sort of tragic. Now with the Hero Center, what are some other things that you're looking forward to doing or just looking forward to be a part of as it relates to charity and volunteering? Yeah,
just wherever we can, right? I mean, I love the Suit Up program. I love, you know, training for interviews, right? I love getting people to come out and do the dance programs, right? I like the Tuesday night runs, you know, just wherever we can. The whole idea is that athletics is important, but athletics without schooling or information is misguided. Right. So we just want to keep on creating programs that help platform people into the workforce. And that's going to be even more important now.
Gotcha. We're going to take a couple of questions.
Sure.
This one is from the real Shavi Swami. He says, what is your tip of survival for small scale business?
Man, you just got to fight, right? There's no easy out. If you are eligible, apply for the payroll protection program. Go to smallsba.gov. There's money that's coming from the government. Even if you're an independent contractor, you're still eligible. You just have to have been in business for a few months. You can't just start it tomorrow and say, okay, now I'm eligible. You've got to have this business in place. And if you're getting hit at all, go and apply. You pay your taxes. You earned this money already.
Right.
And in some cases, you may even be doing okay. So if you look at grocery stores or look at things that are selling in grocery stores, if you can find ways to deal with the companies that are doing well,
right,
that opens up the door for you even more.
No, definitely makes sense, man. Wise words. Listen, I have a question, just not outside of the business and that. What's been your snack of choice?
My snack of choice?
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'm on Shark Tank, right? So I got all these little companies. So number one is this company called Alyssa's Healthy Cookies, right? You can get them at Central Market and all the grocery stores or on Amazon. And so they're great. They taste really good. They're chocolate cookies and oatmeal cookies, but they have a lot of fiber and a lot of protein. So that's my breakfast every morning.
So there's a such thing as a healthy cookie?
Healthy cookie. Check it out, man. See, you set me up, man. You gave me that dime, and I got you. Yeah, so I love it. I literally, every breakfast, that's exactly what I have. And then if I have a sweet tooth, like I have an excuse. It's like, oh, this is okay because they're healthy.
This is healthy. Oh man, that's amazing. Listen, man, is there anything else you want to say or just want to share with everyone? I don't want to hold you too long, but definitely appreciate you for joining us, Center Court. Is there anything else that you want to close with?
Yeah, you know what? It doesn't matter what the government does right now. I mean, we need their help, but they're going to do what they do. Texas, Dallas, we've got a great community. The center is amazing. This is where we all come together. The day that we can open, we need to figure out ways where we can support each other because it's about what we do. It's not about what they do. Wow. And it's going to be crazy. There's going to be ups and downs and things we didn't expect. Who knows? I mean, this is all uncertainty. And it's not about blaming people. It's about doing what you can do. Doesn't matter what the president does. Who cares what he does, right? What matters is what we do because that's the way we are in Dallas. That's the way we are at the center. So, somebody's going to have some great ideas that change the world. Why not us?
Listen, I'm taking that. It's not about what they do. It's about what we do. I think that's one of the most important things that I can hear you say right now. And just want to remain encouraged. I know it may seem bleak. It may seem
tough,
uncertain, but this is a time where it's really important to take care of yourself, take care of those around you, and by default,
because let me also say this, right? In the past, like America 1.0, it was driven a lot by big companies, top down. Guys that look like me making decisions. Now it's going to be bottom up. And when I talk about side hustles, the minute we can go outside, all the big companies are going to be trying to figure out how to stay in business and what their world's going to be like and what their businesses are going to be like. And you know what? I have an old saying, when you run with the elephants, there's the quick and the dead. And if you're quick and you can start things in your community, exactly. If you can start things in your community to get things done, do it because the big companies aren't going to figure it out. You know about your community better than anybody. You know what your business can do better than anybody. This is going to be the time to do it.
That's a great business strategy. Go local, go small. Make sure you take care of everything around you and move forward. Listen, Mark, thank you so much. I really appreciate this conversation. We're hopeful that everyone could have learned something. Jay, thank you all for joining us at Center Court, where we talk about not just the things related to the game on the court, but also the game outside the lines, and just want to make sure we can add value to every player on the team.
And I'm gonna get down there to the center. I'm gonna get in on some of those runs.
Let's do it, man. I'll join you.
You got it. That's a deal. All right, y'all. Take care.
You too. Wow. Great conversation. We were able to get a couple of questions in. It was a good conversation with Mark, and just being able to see how we can all just move forward better in the midst of any situation, right? I mean, definitely everything that's happening with the coronavirus and COVID-19, that's definitely an unexpected situation. But how many other times have we had unexpected situations that we've had to deal with it? And even Mark being able to share some of his perspective and his experience as it relates to overcoming that is super, super important, and something that we with the Mark Cuban Heroes Basketball Center want to make sure to equip everyone with that preparedness. It's not about just what happens, but what are we prepared for when it does happen, those unexpected situations. And once again, we just appreciate you all for doing this and joining us right now. Can I come here real quick? We don't have anything else. Secondly, anything, sorry about that. If you have a recommendation for anyone else we should maybe speak with or maybe talk to, or just invite them to center court, we would love for them to be involved. We're looking at doing some other charitable things. We've got apparel that we're working on, just developing this entire concept as a resource to continue to add value to all the players on the team for the Mark Cuban Heroes Basketball Center. I'm Derek Walker. Make sure to continue to follow Mark at M Cuban on all the platforms. I am D Walk on all the platforms, and continue to follow the Mark Cuban Heroes Basketball Center _. Make sure to share this with someone. Talk to a loved one. Talk to a child. Talk to someone young. And we will see you on the other side. Peace.